If you don't want anybody to hear what you're saying, you don't say it here again.
Which means
All
if I'm
right. So
contributing, it will be going there.
yes. So you don't say anything too personal again. We have finished the the gist. We'll also
Okay.
continue with the gist at the end. We need to take our lessons and move forward.
Okay.
Personal gist later. It's just what you don't want another person to hear another time, even though your names are not showing. That's what you shouldn't let to go there. All right. So I want to share my screen. I want to listen to Nonye's um what she has done. Let me listen to what she has done and know. She was talking about cabbage water, so I need to go back there. Remember that thing I gave you is not that you should follow it. It's like a sample, okay? It's just like are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please, can somebody answer? Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, is it the cucumber water you're asking or cabbage? Because what you have here is cucumber and mint water, not cabbage.
What I'm asking is cabbage water. Is there anything like cabbage water?
But I told you that this menu I made, if it's from here, you got it, it's from somebody who was having ulcer. So usually I give ulcer people cabbage and carrot smoothie or cabbage and carrot juice. I don't know if that's what you're asking. But what we have is cucumber water, not cabbage water.
Okay.
Like now, if you want to do early morning water therapy, you can do it with you get a jug of water. I think I even have a video on it. I might send it to you. Get a jug of water, fill it with water, drinking water, potable water. Then you cut like one, depending on the size of cucumber, one small cucumber and some leaves of mint into it and put it in your fridge. So all the nutrients, the water will absorb the nutrients from the mint water and the cucumber. And then in the morning, you can use it as your early morning detox. So in the morning, you bring it out to reduce the temperature a bit to room temperature, and then you can now drink it. So you don't blend. For that cucumber, you cut it in chunks and put inside, like all those round way you cut it, and put inside the water.
Okay, ma.
Just like
must it be
lemon.
in the morning?
You can, in fact, when I used to use it, if I'm at home and I have the time and the fridge and the light is on, I drink it throughout the day.
Because what I take in the morning is lemon and warm water. That's my very first thing.
Yeah, we said it. We said it yesterday that you can actually also use lemon and water, aloe vera and water, cucumber, mint and water, whatever works for you. Some people it's lime that works for them. But always make sure you have your morning detox. It's always good for you to do your morning water therapy. It's very good. So okay, so for what we did yesterday, Nonya, do you have any other question before we run through what we did yesterday for those who prefer to have this fast one? Nonya, any more thing?
No, ma, I'm good.
Okay, all right. So those of you who were around yesterday, get ready to take one of the session. Let me see, who do I have here? We had protein, carbohydrates, vegetables, and oil. So I would like those who are yesterday, I hope you took your notes. Nonye and Lolo, we will take one. Let me start with protein. So what we did yesterday, for those of us who might just be watching this video, and for those who were not here yesterday, we listed all the foods we can find around us local foods we can find around us. That was how we started for each section of food: protein, carbohydrates, vegetables, and oils. So when we listed out everything, we now, as people were listing it out, we noted the wrong food, which are very, very high in glycemic index, and we found an alternative for it. So that was what we did for each section of the food. We found alternative for it because that's what we're going to use to draw our weekly menu. I didn't want to go from the one of telling you use this, use that, because some people might not have it around them. So we asked for all the foods that you can find around you or that you are already taking, and then we now said that we should remove what is bad. Like Noye says, she started with vegetables today. Very good. So she's bringing in a good habit into her menu by starting with vegetables today. Okay. So I will take the chicken, the protein. I will also take carbohydrate. Then I will allow Nonye to take vegetable, and then Lolo will take oil. What you learned yesterday and what we did. So Mommy, do you have, can we hear what the proteins that are around you and the ones that you eat?
Yeah,
Yes,
I eat eggs.
eggs, okay.
I
Eggs was
love
a green.
eggs. Then chicken, I eat chicken, but it's not the chicken of this country is not wonderful. So maybe sometimes it is this thing that is even better sometimes. Turkey.
Okay.
Turkey
Yes,
is usually better. I enjoy goat meat, and I don't really like beef. If I'm to
okay.
eat beef, actually it is they call it processed one, but I don't see it like that because I do it sometimes. Just get minced meat, just minced meat.
Minced
Just
meat.
bring it. You blend
Once
it
in a
yourself.
long while with plenty vegetables. That was what we agreed on yesterday.
No, okay. The way I take it myself, I am supposed to be diabetic, but I'm no longer diabetic by the grace of God. Mhm. And it was one of the things I did that helped me come out of it. I would just get the what do you call it? They call it that patties, burger patties. I'll get it and grill it. Use vegetable. Just put one or two in vegetables and eat it. Or one or two burger patties. I use avocado. I use it to take it, and it helped me so much that my
Yeah, because
A1C now dropped from
mm,
10% to 5.5.
but
Honestly,
remember you were combining it. If you people remember what we said yesterday, plenty vegetable,
yes.
75% of vegetable. If
Okay.
you take it with practically anything in moderation, you
Mm,
will go a long way to help you. So
yeah.
that was
So
what we did.
yeah,
So
that's how I used to take
mm,
beef. Otherwise, I have never gone to the market to buy beef.
mm,
It's only that way. Mm.
okay. All right. So at least she has mentioned most of it. What she didn't mention now is fish. Don't you take fish?
Oh yeah, I do. I do take fish. It's not as much as I take eggs.
Mm.
Uh,
All right. So yesterday we said chicken, especially chicken breast, fish,
okay,
especially
chicken
skin fish
breast.
that has omega-3,
Mm-hmm.
mackerel, tuna, sardines, salmon, sea bass, like we now said, sea bass in Nigeria is just out of experience. I know it's called shiny nose. Okay, so all those fish, they are very good for us. Then we said good for eggs, but sometimes somebody's makeup might not be good for certain food. So we also need to listen to our bodies to know what our bodies will be telling us. Then we now say goat meat should be rarely, and if you're taking it, plenty vegetables. Goat meat also rarely, and if you're taking it, plenty vegetables. For those of us who are watching this, if you also have time, we went in depth in the last meeting zone. You can listen to it also to get some of the things that we discussed there. Then we talked about portion control. Let me talk about portion control now. We said that portion control is very, very important. Just like when mommy said, some of the things that you take, if you take them with plenty vegetables, you're good to go. Let me show you my meal this afternoon. Can you see my meal, my dinner? Because I've just finished eating before about 6:30. Can you see my dinner? What can you identify?
Similar to what I had, but
So
without broccoli.
fish.
These other ones were there without broccoli. The
Okay.
chicken was there.
This is not chicken, salmon fish.
Okay, it was salmon fish. The other one is looking like beans. Is that beans?
Yes.
Bean
But
porridge.
remember, it's carbohydrate. Yesterday, we found out that beans has 70% of carbohydrates and 30% of protein. So practically, this beans is my carbohydrate for today.
No,
If
it's
it's
not
before
only carbohydrate. I'm sorry. I think
70% and 30 protein. It has protein, but it's just 30%.
but there's another carbohydrate here. The cauliflower and
The cauliflower is not. Let's see how
broccoli.
many. They will have carbohydrate, but it won't be high.
Okay.
Now, I was telling you yesterday that cabbage has some percentage of carbohydrate, broccoli, and that's why sometimes when we're taking all these vegetables, we'll be telling ourselves that we are not taking carbohydrate, but we are. So broccoli, let me see its glycemic index first of all. So glycemic index, where it is in the glycemic index. So it's low, it's 15% glycemic index. A cup of calorie is just about that's 0.9. That's very good. 28 calories, but let's find out its protein, carbohydrate components. Let's see, broccoli. So we need to be sure of what, because in drawing our menu, we need to know what we're eating. Now, broccoli has 3.2 grams of carbohydrates, 2.4 grams of protein. So can you see? It has quite high percentage of carbohydrates. Do you understand? So that's why sometimes if one sits down and calculates the carbohydrates you're eating, you find out it's a lot too. And that's why it's better for it to come from vegetables than from some roots and like rice, like flour and things like that. Do you understand? Now, the carbohydrates in this vegetable, why it's also good for us is that it's complex carbohydrate. Okay, it's complex carbohydrate. So zero trans fats, zero saturated fats, total fats will be very, very small. But remember, your preparation method and procedure can also change the content of these things. It can also change the content. This one is just steamed because I'm looking for how to reduce drastically the content of of carbohydrates in it. Same with carrot. All these vegetables, they still have their carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to be careful. I've been snapping my food, just that it's in the other phone. Even when I went out, let me send the one my husband and my meal for yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday morning. And we took it around 3 p.m. Let me send it. Okay, so I try as much as possible. That's it here. What can you see? I finally didn't take the cereals, because by the time I calculated all this thing, it was too much. I just dropped the cereals. I took it from the hotel. So what can we see here?
This is
Thinking
I
about
see yogurt,
okay.
Tomatoes and cucumber.
cabbage.
Cucumber.
I think this
oh,
is egg.
this is oats and chicken.
Eggs,
Yeah.
mushroom, tomatoes, and hash brown. This is potatoes that they made into hash
Hash
brown.
brown, yes.
Okay.
Then,
So actually, this hash brown is supposed to be the main carbohydrate that one is having in this meal. And then, of course, you know that baked beans is even processed.
it's processed.
Very, very healthy.
I don't eat it at all.
It's not very, very healthy, but you can see it's in a small saucer that both of us shared, and it's because we're in the hotel and we needed a sauce that can make the food not to be too dry. So, like all these yogurts inside the can, we didn't take it. I had to drop it. We only shared the one in the plate because that's the Greek yogurt. Then the sheet that I had, or treats, is the can you see? This is sugar pastry. This
Yeah,
shouldn't be.
see
And I told them,
croissants.
yes, it should.
Oh my God.
So it's only when I want to, what is it called, spoil myself.
Indulge.
So this morning, indulge, yes, ma, that's what. This morning, I did not touch it. I only took the vegetable, the mushroom, tomatoes, and egg with the yogurt. Okay. So what I'm saying, if you start, you'll find out that you can still enjoy what you're eating without eating wrong. So that's the conclusion of our protein. And portion control, like okay, let me go back and do that portion control. That's even what took me there, I forgot. Portion control should be 75% of vegetable and 25% you share it for protein and carbohydrate. But here you can see I did a little more than I should for carbohydrates. You can see, because this my vegetable is just about 60%. It's not up to 75%. So that's why if you watch what I dropped for us in the chat room today, I said 60% to 75% should be your vegetable. I hope you have read that write-up. This write-up I have here. So I put it there. Yes, today I dropped it today around 5 p.m. So this is the picture at the beginning of it. And I talked about healing Nigerian foods. And I talked about the glycemic index. I tried to get out the glycemic index of the normal food. If you see here, sweet potato, 54 to 94, depending on the brand of sweet potato and your preparation method. So that's why it ranges from 54 to 94. If you go and fry it, it's going higher. If you steam it and the red one or the purple one is reducing lower, okay? Irish potato is very high. Can you
Was
see
it
here?
now since that time?
No, I forgot to.
Irish potato is very high, 90 to 101. So please avoid Irish potato as much as you can.
Yeah, Irish potato is not good at all.
So It's because we mentioned yesterday, so I added it here then to show them the pandemic
It's okay.
has. So
Thank
here
you.
I put best portion control tips. Balance your plate. Aim for 60% to 75% of vegetables each meal. If you even checked down my breakfast that I showed us, you'll find out that like one plate, big plate already had vegetables only, filled with vegetables only. Mushroom also is like a vegetable protein. Okay, so as much as possible, aim for high percentage of vegetables that can fill you. So please go and read these documents that I sent to us, just to add it to your meal plan. Like I said, after today, from next week, we are cruising. We are talking about other things and then implementing what we have drawn and seeing our lives and our health becoming better. So now for carbohydrates, we also went deep into carbohydrates. We talked about, somebody raised yam, and I said healthier variety of yam is better, like water yam. Water yam is better than the normal yam. And then I also say yam, if you look at our index, you find out that yam is even far better than Irish potatoes. So you can see yam here is 51 to 64%, which is very good. Okay, it's very good, but your preparation is also the thing. And then also to reduce the further down to be nearer this 51, boil your yam with your back. We discussed it yesterday. When you boil it with the back, it also helps to handle the sugar level in it. And then somebody was asking her, if you want to make porridge yam, will you boil it with the back? If you want to pound your yam, will you boil? I say yes, as much as possible, boil it with the back. Peel it just before you make sauce and add to it to make porridge, or peel it just before you pound it. Okay, so that's what we discussed about that yesterday. Then sweet potatoes, depending on the variety, are also good. You've seen the glycemic index there. Then somebody mentioned breastfruit and okwa, and it was an eye opener. Yes, okwa.
Okwa.
It was an eye opener for some people to see that this breadfruit has higher carbohydrate than protein, and even beans has higher carbohydrate than protein. So let's stop eating breadfruit and beans as protein. Let's eat them as carbohydrates. That was the conclusion we came to yesterday. Bearing in mind that some of the vegetables you also put on your plate also has some carbohydrates in it. So people mentioned that we removed semovita. We said, please remove semovita from your table because it is flour that we are eating without knowing it. An alternative for semovita, we talked about blending millet, dawa to combine them and using them to make the swallow, and then also doing vegetable swallow like cabbage amala, garden egg amala, mixed vegetable amala. Do you know an idea? A thought just also occurred to me of what I normally do. You see, beetroot, carrot, I normally use them to make juice. So when I make that juice, I use the chaff to make amala. Very, very good. So what do you use
Beetroot and what?
and carrots?
Oh, okay. Okay, you now use the chaff.
Yes, to make amala.
Oh,
I don't ever throw it away. Never. In fact, I will even store it in the freezer and be bringing it out to blend again to make amala. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. It binds with the bad bacteria in the gut to push them out so that your gut flora is healthier. Fruit and carrots and cabbage combined, fantastic. So we now talked of alternative to semovita, semolina, pando yam, all those processed swallow. And we talked of vegetable swallow and blending whole grain to make it. And then we also say that unripe plantain, if you want to do unripe plantain, whether it's fresh or dried, do it with the back. Like some of us who process our unripe plantain, that we should cut it with the back, dry it with the back, and blend it with the back. And even when you want to eat the fresh one, also blend it with the back. That will give you higher fiber. In fact, always aim at getting as much fiber as you can in your meal. It's very, very good. Mid-age and senior ages. Very good. Then we also said for pap, try to make your pap by yourself and also blend a variety of whole grains like millet, dawa, maize together to make them. So that was what we talked about semovita. Then we now came to rice. And we said for white rice, remove completely from your table. Now, of course, for those of us who travel like that is not at home, they cannot bring rice now. You start saying you won't eat. Where are they going to find wild rice where you are? When you are there, you know you cannot help it. So what do? Use it in small quantity and use vegetable to bind, cover everything and eat your food. The vegetable will cover up for you meanwhile until you are able to be the one in control of your food. So we talked about wild brown rice, basmati brown rice, Ofada local rice, Abakaliki local rice, all the unprocessed rice. And remember, rice generally should be in reduced quantity, and make sure that if you're eating rice, then you have to keep to the rule of 75% of vegetable. So that was what we discussed. Then we now came to bread. And we say, please remove bread from your table. And pastry, let's remove pastry. Let it be that you're indulging or it's your cheat day. You know, sometimes you can bring out one day in the week or in the month, depending on your health challenges and your health goals, to call it your cheat day. That day, eat anything your body is asking for, your tongue is asking for, your mouth is asking for, your mind is asking for, your heart is just eat it that day. Why is necessary is because if you have days like that, if you want to eat wrongly the day before it or other days, you just tell yourself, just wait until this my cheat day. I will deal with all these things. So that's how it helps us. So we now say you should exchange white bread for whole grain bread, especially if you can get seeded bread or whole grain wheat bread. And then I also said that you can actually make bread with almond, granite, coconut, oats. So you can have those alternatives instead of having the white bread. All right. So any question, contribution, or comments before Manye will take over to talk about what we discussed yesterday of vegetables. Welcome, Olufala. How are you?
Fine, ma. Thank you, ma.
All right. If no comment or contributions or question, Manye, can you take over what we discussed of vegetable yesterday?
Yes, ma'am. Yesterday we talked about combining as many vegetables. You can combine like 3 or 4 together. That is very, very good. And we shouldn't overcook our vegetables. Then in the portion control, the vegetables should be 75%. And we are going to start eating from the vegetables. We need to finish the vegetables first before embarking on other things in the plate. Then again, you talked about that if we are eating 3 times a day, that we are supposed to toilet 3 times a day. If it is not 3 times, it means there are some toxins stuck inside our body. So if you eat 2 times a day, you have to go to toilet 2 times a day. What again? We talk about vegetable. We can combine bitter leaf and Ozeza is very good. Can also combine the bitter leaf with tete. In fact, just combine as many as. Like me today, I made stew to take this morning. What I put inside the stew is plenty carrot and plenty ugu with
Wow.
water leaf.
Wow.
Yes, that is how I combined it today. And
Cook
I
what?
bought
Sorry.
You.
stew. I did not
Stew.
fry the stew. Yes, I didn't fry it.
You
Yeah,
made
we go with
sauce, not stew.
well, it's still not sauce. She
So
had to be so
here at we have looked for this Titus. I can't find Titus here. What I'm seeing here is this kote. Kote is
okay.
rampant here. So I bought kote. I didn't buy meat. I just bought the kote. After parboiling, I fried it because me, I don't like eating that kote without being fried. But I use, instead of using granite oil that I have here, I used red oil to fry it.
Okay. That's 50-50. Remember what red oil gives you? 50-50. Lolo will talk about it today. So you have taken 50 monosaturated.
So that is what I did today.
You could have
So why
dried it up.
did you
Just
think of roasting it?
Of what?
Roasting it to
that's
reduce the
what I said.
Okay,
Drying it up.
I don't have anything here to roast.
Okay.
I prefer it roasted, but I don't have those things to use to roast it.
Like oven.
I don't have it here.
Okay.
It's in the village.
Oh,
That's what I
yes.
was telling Lolo, that you should start. Don't wait until you get home. All of us, we are not around. Almost all of us here. We are somewhere, but we are starting the one we can. Okay, that's very good, Maya. I'm impressed. Well done.
Okay, ma. Thank you very much.
All right. So talking about eggs, remember that for those of you, somebody said she didn't like eggs, and I said you can actually cook eggs with carrot, eggs with cabbage, eggs with ugu, to make it easier for you to take. I have a lot of videos on it. If I remember, I will also drop it. Lolo, can you talk about oil? Or does anybody have any contribution on the vegetable thing Noye talked about? Or if she forgot something we discussed yesterday?
I wasn't here yesterday, but I want to talk about the way I used to fry my own egg.
Okay.
I will just sometimes, when I want to eat egg, I just put 4 on a plate. Rock eggs. I cut green vegetable. I cut it, put it there. Cut onion, a lot of onion. Then sardine.
Okay.
Open
Very
it,
good.
pour it into it, and then carrots. Some of these vegetables. Just you will be looking for the eggs because of the level of vegetables there.
Like vegetable. Very good.
Very good. And the thing would just be sweeting you like this. It's like the thing shouldn't finish.
I don't know who talked about not liking egg. Borrow this recipe. You will always want to eat eggs after that.
Yeah.
It's me that say I don't like egg so much.
Borrow this recipe. You really, really, in fact, you'll be looking for eggs.
You will love it. You will love it.
Variety as much as you can get. There's none that cannot enter there. So you steam it a bit and then now pour the eggs.
Sometimes what I use in frying it is coconut oil. That's coconut or olive oil. That's it. Just heat it up. You don't allow it to be too hot. Just as soon as it's warming, you just pour the thing, cover it there. It will now cook
with low heat.
With that low heat, yes. And that's it. Every nutrient will just be packed there.
All right. Thank you, ma.
God.
Any other contribution of vegetables? Okay, so Lolo, can you talk to us about Ororo oil? What we discussed yesterday. Oil generally. Do you want to unmute? Lolo? Okay, Olushola, can you help us before you run out? Oil.
Yeah, hello,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
we can hear you now.
Yeah, sorry, I was on a call. From what I gathered yesterday, that I was kind of distracted yesterday.
Yeah, we are listening.
So, you talked about the usually oil, avocado pear oil, avocado oil, vegetable oil. Then, I don't know if you mentioned coconut oil because I didn't think I heard anything about coconut oil,
No,
but
coconut oil, red oil, they are 50-50.
yes, yes.
Coconut oil, though, is better than red oil in the oil health range.
Okay.
But the healthiest, okay, let's go from best lower. The healthiest is avocado, from what we talked about
Mm.
yesterday, followed by olive oil.
Okay.
Then after olive oil, we have groundnut oil, sunflower oil, and
Sunflower.
yeah,
Yes,
sunflower.
sunflower. Okay. Then vegetable. You mentioned vegetable oil.
But I said we should run away from vegetable oil. All this ororo they keep, that we should remove it from our table. Don't use
Okay.
ororo, don't use vegetable oil because they are highly processed. We talked
Mm.
about avocado, after avocado, olive oil, then real
Original
groundnut oil.
coconut oil.
Remember that we
Cold
said
pressed.
not cold press, if you can get cold press groundnut oil. It's very good. Sunflower oil. So these are, but sometimes it's very difficult to find avocado oil around us, but olive oil is more available. Groundnut, original groundnut oil, if you get it, it will last. Remember, you're just using small. Then we now talked about
Oh,
palm
exactly.
coconut oil, is now palm oil. Palm oil, we can't do without it in Nigeria, Ghana, most African, West African countries. So let's use real deep portion control. Then I now said also that many times why we go for palm oil is because of the color. So I now said you can use bell pepper to color up so that you can reduce the quantity of palm oil you're using in the food you're cooking. So that was what
Then
we
that
so remember, you can lay your hands on avocado oil, treat it like gold. You know the way we put our gold. My avocado oil does not stay in the kitchen. It stays in my room, to tell you the truth.
Oh my goodness. Oh God.
You know
Torika
the way
George.
it's inside the
that is
trunk
oil.
box. I have a trunk box of
Oh
healthy oil.
God. Torika
Inside my
George.
trunk box of my healthy oil, I have avocado. I buy it in US once a year. I have my virgin olive oil and I have my high heat olive oil. There's this olive oil they do that you can use to
Salmonheads.
fry. Yes, I have it there. And then I have my coconut oil, cold pressed coconut oil. And I have almond oil. I call it my oil trunk box. It doesn't go to the kitchen. It's only when I want to make my meal and my husband's meal that I take it out. So you can have something like that. It's not only in gold and Georges that we should invest also in your health. Inside that my trunk box, I have almond flour, I have psyllium husk. I buy them once a year or once in 2 years, and I put them there and I use it. It's my investment on my health. So when I'm cooking for the house, generally I use other things, but for me and my husband, I go They know where to get it, and immediately I take my 1 spoon, they are returning it back there. One of the days, my housekeeper asked, Mommy, I said, go and bring receipt. I showed her oil that I bought $75. Is it what I'm going to leave in the kitchen for you? So we have to have some of those things. So that's what we talked about oil. Does anybody have any contribution or comment on oil?
Question.
Then, like today, what I did, because I'm not in my house, when I noticed that they're making stew, though they use the olive oil. So instead of frying the meat, I now make sure that they use air fryer for the meat and the fish instead
Very
of
good.
going again. You
Frying meat.
understand?
Yes, I clap for you. Very good, And that brings us to our last thing we discussed yesterday, our kitchen equipment. We talked about our kitchen equipment, that there are some kitchen equipment that we have to make sure that we try to invest in and get. And air fryer is one of them. Your juice makers is one of them, your blender. And sometimes if you can't afford juice maker, get your blender and multi-use it, multitask it. So it can be blender, it can be juicer, it can be what do they call it, that you can use to also blend things that are not very, very well done. So let's invest in some of these things. They can help us. So I'm excited that somebody now, like Lolo, now instead of frying, is air frying, so that because she has it there in the house. And if you don't have it, you can also improvise to use either steaming and then stewing it, instead of just frying. All right. Any contribution, comment? A lot of people have meeting by 8, so I think we should end by around this period. But don't forget intermittent fasting in your menu, where you're drawing your menu. We also talked about intermittent fasting, that as much as possible, you should try to reduce your eating window as much as possible. You can start, most people, we have 12 hours. We have eating window of 12 hours and fasting window of 12 hours. So I say we should try to be pushing that eating window to narrow it to at most 8 hours. 8 hours at most at this age. Sometimes you can try to see if you can make it 4 hours eating windows. Today now, I ate first at we came back from church around 2. So call it by 2. And I've taken my dinner by 6:30. So 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 6:30, which is 4.5 hours. Even if you call it 5 hours eating window, I'm not taking any other thing until tomorrow again. So with this, my body was able to attain 18, 19 hours of autophagy. Like now, if I can stay till 2 p.m. tomorrow, my body would have attained like almost 20 hours of autophagy. Do you know that if I can do that for 1 month, safe, a lot of illnesses or all these aches and pains or inflammation will reduce in my body. I will kick off risk of so many diseases in my body. So autophagy is very, very good. As much as we can, make it natural. You start small, small. You might not be able to do 20 windows fasting windows, but at least start. Move from 12 hours to 14 hours to 16 hours to 18 hours, something like that. It will really, you will be surprised. And even for those of us who need to reduce our belly fat, you will be surprised at how much of it you will reduce if you can push up your fasting windows. All right. So any question before we close? Contribution?
I
Comment?
wanted to ask the grading of the oil. You said olive oil is number 2, but
Yes.
avocado is number 1. And the olive oil that is number 2 is the extra virgin olive oil, not the other type.
Yeah.
Did I hear you well? Yeah, I
Yes,
know
man.
that. Okay.
Yes.
And
I
then
think we
which
have
one is
upgraded
the third one? Is
the
it
third one
coconut
from
oil?
from no groundnut oil from the ones we can find around
Oh,
us. Remember that we are measuring on what is
the
easily
ones.
available there.
But do you know that coconut oil is more available than groundnut oil because they no longer do that type. The real groundnut oil is being done by Hausa women. Manjata, that's what they call it. It's scarce and expensive if you get the
But
real
we
one.
can do it ourselves, though. It's
Yes,
not
we
difficult.
can do ourselves. That's what I know. We can do it ourselves, but it's not common in the market. That's just what I'm saying. Coconut
Right.
oil is easier.
Ah.
Yes, it's easier.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so anyway, it's either coconut oil or
Yes, you know that coconut oil is not so good because it has a little more of monosaturated oil.
okay. So where do you keep things like ghee
Like
as
what?
butter, ghee,
It's, it's, it,
GHEE?
yeah, yeah, I know.
Mm,
Butter is good. Is also good. I think I
mm,
will do. I have a research I did on oil, healthy oil. I
mm.
will try and get it and drop it for us. I
Okay,
was majoring on what is available in Nigeria because
okay.
you know, this is wellness night.
Mm.
I don't want to
I
mention things.
understand.
That's why I didn't talk about almond oil yesterday. I didn't even
Okay.
talk about avocado that much. I just said if you can lay your hands on it, then you can have it. So
Mm,
yesterday we looked more at groundnut oil, sunflower oil, olive oil, and then palm oil and coconut oil because of their monosaturated content. Monosaturated oil content. I didn't want to talk so much about them, but I say
okay.
it more. And again, another thing we also agreed is that anything you can find around you, moderation is the key. And having enough vegetables to push it out of your system. And then we
Mm,
also talked about if you can have organic, 100% organic and natural Garcinia. Garcinia also help. Garcinia gambodia. If somebody can get it, it will also help
Garcinia
to.
Cambodia is supplement from like what is it called? Is it not a supplement?
It's a supplement. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It helps now.
What I'm saying is, it's not common now. Is it
No, I'm
common?
just telling them it's not common.
Okay,
We didn't talk
okay,
about it as being common.
okay,
I
okay.
only just told them that that's what, like now as I'm traveling, I eat anything. If you notice when I
Oh, okay.
see that I put something in my mouth before I
I
took the
saw
plate.
you now. I saw you. Yeah, I behaved as if I didn't see you. I just closed my eyes.
So I told them yesterday that because I'm traveling, I cannot go to somebody's house. They give me food. I start talking rubbish. Go and bring 75% of vegetable. So I just put my pills in my mouth, swallow it just before I eat the food, and it just pushes it out. I continue my life. Okay. So that one is just by the way. But some people in America, they have Cambodia on the off shelf that they can get. But this is
Really?
NAIJA. All right.
Mm.
Any contribution, comments? Remember, please submit your meal plan so I can work with you. I'm giving you people till Thursday. After Thursday, I'm not going to look at anybody's meal plan. No. That's meal Thursday for us to complete everything about it. Everything
Oh,
about it. So submit tomorrow, we look at it, adjust it. You try out some things, Remember when you put some things and I see it and it's not good, we'll find the alternative that you can use. And then we continue. I want to start my wellness NAIJA June. So most of our
Never
classes on
finish with us. They put us out.
now
See,
your chat room will remain. I will keep
okay,
posting your timetable is there for 21 days now. We are
okay,
finishing today. So I
okay,
can't put it until 21 days is over. So I'll keep posting things, answering your question, personalized, like when you drop your something. Remember, if you have any ailments that we need to look into, tell me as I'm correcting you so that I'll be giving some of the foods that can help, the healing foods that you need to add up. Like for someone now, if you have knee issues, like pains, knee pains here and there, turmeric has to appear. You have to use it as your spice for every meal that you're taking. Turmeric tea and coke will be there. Okay, I put all those things in the curriculum that I put. There are some foods that, like somebody who is having menopausal symptom, you need to remove spices, hot flushes. If you're having hot flushes and night sweat, you need to reduce spices. Okay, so those are some of the things that I'll talk about when we are looking at your own. Just tell me everything so that I'll be able to look at your menu and see what is not there.
Okay, ma, I have a question.
Those who have 8 o'clock meeting, you are permitted to leave, please.
Okay. Can I add a soluble fiber as a night snack when
Yes,
I'm
you
drawing
can.
the
Yes, you can. Everything you're taking, add it so we look at it.
Okay. All right.
Yes, Forever Living. Forever Living has Garcinia. It's Forever own I use. I use Forever Living Garcinia, Forever Living Lean. Let me open my video and even show you. So this is the Forever Lean that Forever has. I don't joke with them. The Garcinia is in my back behind. So I don't joke with them. So, but anyone you have, you can use. But Forever, their own is 100% organic and natural. So I always prefer it. All right, ma. Yes, ma. You can add your soluble fiber. And another thing, like now, for anybody that has a constipation, ulcer, belly fat, needs to reduce weight, vegetable swallow with psyllium husk is very, very good. It will help to do these 4 things we mentioned: remove constipation, remove ulcer, remove belly fat, and reduce weight. Okay. So 8 o'clock people have left, and 2 of us here, we were here yesterday. So let's go and draw our plan, our meal plan. Okay. Now, when we're doing your something, let's talk your meal plan. Let's talk about it. But add you see in this something I showed us. Let me share my screen again. That's something I showed us. That sample that we are using. That person has ulcer. So add cabbage and carrot smoothie or juice in your own meal plan. Okay. It will really go a long way. Yes, to go a long way to help you. All right. Any other question? Can we close?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Father, Lord, we thank you for today's teaching. Lord, I ask, oh Lord, for all the Wellness NAIJA May ladies in the team, that you grant us complete healing in the name of Jesus. Give us great strength, remove every ailment and aches and pains that make us not to be happy and healthy to serve you better. Remove all of them. And Lord, at the end of this challenge and program, let's come out shining. Let's come out glowing. Let's come out healthier. Let's come out happier. Let's come out looking good, oh Lord. And grant us the grace, Lord, to whatever we have learned, to keep practicing and implementing them, and also blessing other people with the knowledge. Thank you, Father. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mas. Good night, Mas.